feeling cold against your skin. Running through the chaos, letting all the sin. Temptation in a bottle, ready for the night. Craving for the thrill, it's time to ignite. Dark desires burning bright. Echoes in the dead of night. No retreat, no looking back on this heart attack.
Ladies and gentlemen, how are you? Great to be back at this new time zone time for me. It's only 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Lately, we've been coming on at like 4:30, almost 5 o'clock sometimes, but it's only just past 3 o'clock, which is it is much nicer for me at least. Hey, good to see you all. We have some interesting updates for you in regards to missing 4-year-old child Gus Lamont. He is the small child missing from South Australia. His grandparents, at least, lived on a place called Oak Park Station, south of like a really remote place called Yunta. And apparently, they have gone back. The police have gone back to search the family homestead again. Police spokesperson confirmed the team would be searching several locations on the property for evidence. For evidence. What does that mean? I don't know, but we can talk about it. Evidence is an interesting word. Give me a sec. I just want to see if I can load this for you. Yeah. We'll look at a South Australian police update in a minute. I'm just trying to load it up for you. Give me a sec. Sorry, some of this stuff happened like in the last 20 minutes or so. So that's why I'm trying to get it all set up for you. Where is their new one from today? Hmm. Okay. That's okay. We can do it from here. All right, let me load this. Hey, how you guys doing out there? Sorry you have to listen to me set this up, but some of these updates only came out in the last little while, in like the last 20 minutes or so. Yeah, the word evidence. Now they've used this word before and they've gone back recently. They were only back there like 2 weeks ago, something like that, not long ago. So they keep revisiting Oak Park Station. There's obviously something there that they're trying to find. Now, Oak Park Station is massive, 60,000 hectares. That I don't even know how big that is or how to show you what that is in the grand scheme of the world, but it is here. Um, let's see if we can get like an example. You know, some bushfires burn for like this type of size of land. And you think of like how big some of these bushfires get, and that is sort of the size of the area that they're looking to search for Gus Lamont. Like that's I think it's like inconceivable. Yeah, just trying to figure it out from your head how big it is. But this will be like the what, 7th or 8th search that they've done at the property trying to find that 4-year-old. It's, it just tells me that there's something there that they are obviously a child that they're trying to find, but something else. There's some other bit of evidence because why do they keep going back? They were back there not that long ago. Yeah, last month they were there with cadaver dogs. They were looking at a outhouse that had just had cement laid, a water tank, and the yard of a neighboring property. Like back then, they've headed back again and resumed a thing. And they're saying here they are looking at several locations on the property for evidence in the case. Um, very cryptic. Sometimes the South Australian police give good good updates. They'll do the press conferences. They'll tell you what they can, and sometimes they're a little more cryptic, like this. And they're sort of like, "Oh yeah, we're looking at things. We're looking at stuff. We want to look at random things with no description." And that's sort of what it feels like right now. They are not giving their hand away of like what exactly they're looking for. Um, I think us in true crime, we could come up with several different things we could all, have a guess at that they might be trying to find. I don't know if it would be true though. I don't know if we could say for certain. Danny said, I always thought this was sus as F. It is a little suspect. I think so. I mean, I've thought so since day one. I think a lot of people were screaming from the rooftops, like since we heard about little Gus Lamont, and everyone was like, everyone's like, red flags, alarm bells going off. Like, there's something here that's not right. And we only found out in January that police also have come onto that line of thinking as well. And they're saying, like, hey, we checked everything. We tried to take everything at face value. We searched the entire area, used like that crazy AI camera and the, software to look for any evidence that Gus Lamont was on the property. And they came up with nothing. Nothing. They couldn't find anything. Not a piece of clothing, not the child, not any sign that he was there at all. So the fact that they keep, sort of trying to head back over and over again is I applaud their efforts that they're not giving up. It would just be interesting to know what exactly are they looking for. Hey, how are you, my friend? Yeah, we went on yesterday. We went on yesterday. Good to see you, though. Danny said, I couldn't believe folks thought a 4-year-old outside alone was normal. Yeah, I don't think it's normal that a child, walked off into the sunset like it's I don't know, what do you call it? Like a Western movie, like the cowboy heads off into the sunset. Kim said, I'm sure they were suspicious all along. They may have been. They may have been. Yeah, so sorry, we weren't here yesterday. We had to have a day off for health reasons. Ping's been dealing with this flu for like the last 4 or 5 days, and it got really bad yesterday, and I couldn't come on. I could barely speak. So sorry about that. You can call me late. You can say I am late on the breaking news. That's fine. I don't mind. You can tell me that. I don't mind if that's what you call me. Let me have a look here. I was hoping we had a press conference. I thought we did, but maybe we don't. Yeah, let's have a look here. The search for 4-year-old missing Gus Lamont has resumed with police. A top ad. They've resumed. Officers returned to Oak Park Station, declaring the team would be searching several. Yeah, same information. Very small little bits of sort of just the same information. Yeah. Mr. Stevens said investigators have not ruled out the possibility Gus wandered off and getting lost. What? I'm pretty sure, isn't it? Didn't they tell us like 2 months ago that they had exhausted that line of inquiry? Are they now saying that they're back on that line of inquiry? Who is Mr. Stevens? That's the police commissioner, Grant Stevens, told ABC Radio Adelaide earlier this month. What? Mr. Stevens said the investigators have not ruled out the possibility. No, I think they're far past that now. There has not been one single piece of evidence that we have located during the searching exercise, the most extensive search, I think, arguably in the history of South Australia. This has given us an indication that he did wander off. That quote can't be right. That he did wander off? No. I think someone's not done their homework on that article. Someone is not spelling correctly. Hold on, let me find the statement, another source for it. That's not right. Yeah, let's go to this one here. There has not been one single piece of evidence that we have located during the searching exercise, the most extensive search, I think, arguably in the history of South Australia, that has given us any indication that he did wander off. Okay, so they're saying that they haven't found anything that that would lead to that theory. So yes, okay, we're on the same page. It just read weird on that other source. They say late last month, the pair released a public statement via SA Police. We know that the parents did. Um, that's it. There you go. Searching back at Oak Park. I don't know what to tell you. I just hope that we're finally going to get something, that they're going to find what they're looking for, because they've been out there multiple times now. And what we've been told is that they haven't located anything. Like they may have taken some items. They don't know if they're related to Gus going missing, but solid evidence that would solidify what happened to that little boy. I think that's what would be nice to actually get some confirmation on that. Let me see. SP1 said, why can't they just arrest all the adults and put them in jail and let them sit there until someone talks? Well, that's what I was wondering. When the parents released that statement last, what, a couple of weeks ago, and they were imploring the community for information. But how can the community give you any information when you're on this vast property? Like 60,000 hectares. Now, I'm sure they go into town and see people but if whatever happened to Gus happened on that property, I how could anyone know? It's like, I don't understand how anyone could actually give you any information because no one would have seen it. The only thing that they people might be able to help with is if for some reason Gus was taken off that property and maybe they saw a car or someone associated with whoever. That's the only thing I can think of. So when they put out this public appeal, I'm sort of scratching my head on who are they trying to reach with that appeal, because it's not like it's in the city. When you're in the city, of course, if a child might get kidnapped, there's cars that have cameras in them, or there's shops that have CCTV. There might be people walking around that saw something that day. I totally get it. That would make a lot of sense. But when you're dealing with such a remote property, how is there any possibility that a community member might be able to give you a tip? I'm not sure I get how that works. Um, SPMO said, as a parent, I would happily sit in jail if I thought one of my family members had done something and knew something. That's probably true. Hey, Maggie, I'm going to call you. Is it okay to call you Maggie? There was a flood. Yes, that is also why they suspended the search for Trisha Graff, because SA and Victoria a couple of weeks ago had just the like it was the Bible. There was just so much rain. It was insane. Even in Melbourne, there was like it was raining for like 4 days non-stop, and that's why they also suspended the search out in for Trisha Graff too, because it's just so much water. They can't realistically search anything because that red dirt and that dirt that you see in all the photos, when that gets wet, it turns to like quicksand, or not quicksand, but like you get it gets all cluggy and it's really hard to work in. It almost turns to like wet clay, and it's very difficult to work on. So I understand why they would not want to search during that rain event. Josie has a court day on the 6th of May over firearms. Yes, the firearms that the silencer. She had a silencer. I think they said it was unregistered. Hold on. Um, Josie. Let me just I just wanna say the correct thing. I don't wanna just talk off the top of my head. Uh-huh. Okay, so in February 2026, Josie Murray, the 75-year-old grandparent of missing toddler Gus Lamont, was charged with one count of possession of a sound moderator, aka a silencer. Police allege Murray was in possession of an illegal silencer that fitted a firearm that she had in her possession. It is classified as an aggravated offense because the moderator was compatible with the firearms that she owned. They said if convicted, she faces a maximum penalty of $75,000 fine or up to 15 years in prison. So that is the one. Yes, they say here Murray was released on bail, is scheduled to appear in the Peterborough Magistrates Court on May 6th, 2026. So a bit of a wait, probably like another 2 months until we hear that in court. So that we're gonna have to wait on that one. But yeah, a silencer that fitted a firearm that she owned. Now, I'm pretty sure they are highly illegal. You are not allowed to have them here. Let me look up the law on it. I'm almost sure like you can get in a ton of trouble for having these. Uh-huh. Possession of an illegal unregistered silencer or a suppressor that fits a firearm already in the person's possession is a serious criminal offense in Australia. Classified as an aggravated offense, the presence of a silencer, even if not attached to a firearm, can lead to severe penalties if it is deemed to be used with a firearm that the person has in their possession. And they said here that in South Australia, if a silencer is found fitted to a firearm in a person's possession, it can be treated as an aggravated offense carrying penalties of $75,000 or 15 years in jail. So, all through Australia, they are highly illegal. I think you need to have some sort of special license to have them. Sometimes they might have them if say they're working with firearms, maybe I don't know, for a cull, and they don't want the noise. Sometimes they are given a license for very specific use, but um, yeah, I think you have to have a genuine reason why you need to have it, and like what are you going to do with it. So, hey, Juicy Jules, how are you, my friend? Good to see you. Yes, it is not allowed. SP Mama said, almost anywhere in the world it is illegal, is it? I did not know that. I would have thought in America they would be allowed. Danny said, where's Nana Lana? Nana Lana's having some time off. She is enjoying her siesta. She's having a bit of a nap and away from here for a minute. She'll be back. She'll come back at some point. Um, yeah, she's fine. I've heard from her. It's okay. I've heard from Nana Lana. Don't worry. It's all good. Nothing wrong. All right, let's continue. Um, so I don't know. You guys tell me, where do they go from here? If they already brought in cadaver dogs from New South Wales, so they brought them in from another state, took those dogs over a bunch of locations, couldn't well, we don't know whether they found anything, but no body at least. We haven't seen that. Um, yeah, I wanna know what you guys think they might be looking for. I guess it's sort of like a needle in a haystack, especially if originally when Gus went missing, they worked off the assumption that, like they said, he just walked off. That's very different from working on the assumption that maybe something has been concealed. When something is concealed, it's a much more difficult search of the area because, could be inside of something, could be under, could be underground, could have been put into a vehicle, a tub, some sort of plastic barrel, anything, a suitcase. There could be a variety of different things. So it's a completely different type of search. And you're basically having to go back to this giant property and trying again. Um, yeah. So that is your update. They're back out there just like they did with Trisha Graff. They're searching the area once more. The South Australian police must be under a ton of pressure to have two major cases not too far from each other, both of them sort of unresolved. It must be a ton of pressure on the people with Sapole to try and get this done because they've got these two outstanding, pretty high profile cases where they don't really have an answer right now. Um, yeah. All right. Let me see what I've got here. So 7 News in Adelaide and 10 News are just reporting. Yeah, they're not reporting much, guys. Not much. Here, I'll show it to you, but it's not much.
Australian police have returned to the remote station where 4-year-old Gus Lamont went missing last year. Major crime squad detectives are searching a number of locations at Oak Park Station in South Australia's northeast. The latest search comes after South Australia's Police Commissioner revealed 2 relatives of the missing boy are not cooperating with investigators, only communicating via their legal representatives. And we'll have more on this story at 6 o'clock tonight. In breaking news, South
There you go. Just a very quick update. I'll tell you if we end up getting a better update about it, I'll let you know. But right now, search is ongoing. We'll see if they find anything for the 12th, 15th, 34th time of being out at the property. Um, Maggie says concrete tunnel mine shafts. They have searched a bunch of mine shafts. They said in that press conference in January that they even showed examples of some of the mine shafts that they checked. Maybe they'll have to check more of them. There's a story of family they had their child in a block of concrete. I don't know if I've heard anything like that. Yeah, let me look. The only thing I know anything like that is that there was a concrete outhouse that had been poured months after Gus went missing, and they used the cadaver dogs to try and sniff on the concrete, and then they used a ground penetrating radar to search over the concrete after they brought the dogs through. I think they thought maybe there was something there, but they're saying that area has subsequently been ruled out of immediate interest. So nothing in that one right now at all. We'll have to see. Yeah, there was like an outhouse is like a toilet that is away from the property. So quite common in rural areas. Um, not as common anymore. They're more built into homes now, but back in the day, they were pretty common to have a toilet detached from the main property. So that's what they're talking about. But it could also be a name for a any type of outbuilding. So a shed or somewhere to keep equipment. Sometimes that word is used for that as well. So it could be just something like that used on a farm to house tools or stuff for daily work. Could be that too. So yeah, I if we get any more factual stuff about Gus Lamont, I'll let you know. I am pretty well plugged in with a lot of people who know what's going on with this particular investigation, and if something comes up, I will be told very quickly if there's, something happening. So right now, I spoke to some of my sources only like 24 hours ago, and so far they haven't come to me with anything good. They're just basically saying the search is continuing. So I'm sure when something big happens, we'll know. We'll know. Cold Case Girl gifted one membership. Thank you, my friend. Who got it? Chipmunk got it for her birthday. Oh my god! How did that magic happen? How did that magic happen? I don't know. I feel like you guys. How perfect was that? Happy birthday, my friend. I hope you have a good birthday today. All right, I want to talk about that. That's it. I don't want to keep talking about Gus Lamont over and over again with not a ton of information because it's just bit repetitive. But I want to talk about the case we spoke about a few nights ago. We spoke about a case where a teacher had been run over by a car, and these kids were playing a prank on his house and then ended up hitting him when they were fleeing the area. Well, I said on my show, I hope that maybe the charges would be downgraded or maybe thrown out altogether. The family has now come forward saying that they don't want to see the kids charged with a crime. Hold on. Yeah, so the family is now saying they would like to see the charges dropped, and I love that, idea. Here, let me grab this. No, that's not it. And, apparently they're saying Jason would not have wanted the kids to be charged with the crime, and, I mean, if his family's even saying that, you have to kind of, you sort of have to look at it, right, and believe them. Yeah, let me see. So it's his wife is saying this. I'm just trying to load up a. Why is our StreamYard acting so slow tonight? StreamYard, you will be the death of me one day. All right, here we go. There you go. Wife of teacher who died after prank gone wrong doesn't want teens prosecuted. So they're saying his wife, Jason Hughes' partner, is saying she does not want any of the students to face charges in the wake of the incident. And she's saying like he wouldn't have wanted that either. He wouldn't have wanted to ruin their lives and make them go through that. Here's a memorial outside of the school, and they're saying here his wife, Laura, who also teaches at North Hall, has since said that their family does not want the students involved in the prank to be prosecuted. In a statement obtained by the New York Times, Laura further claimed that Hughes had a good relationship with the students and was not angry about the prank, but rather excited to catch them. So it was sort of like a little bit of she's saying it's sort of like a little bit of a game. Like it was sort of like, aha, I caught you. Hey, you don't be so naughty. It was all in good fun, is what she's saying. I don't know about you, but I said the other day that I would hope that it didn't. One of the charges is vehicular homicide. That's really serious, and the person, which was the driver, Jaden, he could go to jail for 15 to 20 years because of it. And if you're thinking, like, you have to take what the family says into account. Now, the DA will make the final decision on it. I'm sure they'll take into account what the family wants, but sometimes the law doesn't work that way just based off what a family wants. sometimes there's things that, you know, sometimes people have to, be charged because someone died. Let's go here. I'm going to take you to Fox 5 in Atlanta.
To begin the 3 p.m. stream here with a heartbreaking twist in Hall County. The family of a beloved teacher killed during a student prank is now calling for mercy, disputing reports of a confrontation and asking for all charges against those students to be dropped. This is Rob DiRienzo. He is covering this story for us this afternoon. Rob, tell us about the afternoon's new developments here.
Hey there, Tom. Good afternoon to you. Where all day we've been seeing a lot of people hugging, a lot of tears outside of North Hall High School after news of this unbelievable tragedy. Again, the memorial is still growing. We've seen people place flowers.
Can you hear that guy? I can't hear him. It sounds like super quiet to me. And if it's super quiet to me, it's probably very quiet to you guys, because I have an audio booster, and normally if it's quiet for me, it means you guys literally can't hear it. So we'll just have to drop that one, unfortunately. I think it's a very kind gesture from his wife, saying that she doesn't want to see them, prosecuted for her husband's death. Um, I don't know. I think so too. I'm sure the cops are probably going to say someone has to be held accountable. And but what is that accountability? Could it be a lower charge? Could it be something else, like not something that's so life changing, like, hey, vehicular homicide? That'll stay with those kids forever. And I'm sure him being a teacher wouldn't wanted to have derailed their life like that. Yeah, I'm sure he does. And especially if it was sort of like a little bit of a game and he knew about it, knew it was probably going to happen, and was sort of like, oh, you naughty, naughty little kids, what are you doing? you know, it's just a bit of fun to end the year, or I guess. Gail said, go around schools and talk about it. Maybe that is a good idea, to maybe sentence them to maybe during the summer of this year or next year, that they have to use their summer break to have to go and educate younger people about like what can go wrong if you do this type of thing. Maybe it would be a good learning situation. Kathy said they're good kids who pulled the prank. Yeah, that's what everyone has said, that they wouldn't have wanted him to die. You know, the thing that does it for me? It's the fact they stopped. As soon as they hit him, they stopped and rendered aid. That tells me a lot. And so many cases I've had where people are sitting in a courtroom and the prosecutor will ask them in cross examining, well, why didn't you call 911? Why didn't you stop and help? If you are to be believed in your defense that this was all an accident, how come you didn't help your fellow human? And this case, they did. They helped. They stopped. They called 911. They rendered aid as best they could. And I think that, to me, says a lot about the type of people they are. Because, it's a very scary situation. Imagine hitting and possibly, you wouldn't know at the time, but injuring your own teacher. A lot of kids would have run. A lot of kids would have run away. They would have bolted. The fact that these ones didn't, I think, says a lot about them. Yeah, I'm going to take you to WSB TV. I think they have a little update on the maybe better audio.
Wrong. Now, several classmates face charges tonight, and today therapy dogs were brought to the North Hall High School to help grieving students and teachers. Channel 2's Candace McCowan is live there, and Candace, that teacher's family now wants the charges dropped against the students involved.
Linda, it's certainly a request that they made. There is certainly shock here at this school for teachers, to students, to parents and staff here. And they've even put up this memorial that you see. They're in shock that they've lost their beloved teacher, as well as the fact that some of their classmates could be facing some serious time behind bars. Now, this community honoring this teacher life, not with just this memorial, but also raising hundreds of thousands of dollars to support his family. On the North Hall High School football field Monday, it was quiet. It was solemn as the picture of teacher and coach Jason Hughes was posted on the Jumbotron.
Kids loved him. The teachers loved him. I mean, he was just one of those guys that embodied love God, love people.
Matt Williams has known Jason Hughes since they were in school and said when several students came to Hughes' home on Northgate Drive Friday night, he expected them. The Hall County Sheriff's Office said this group of teens went to Hughes' home to roll the trees with toilet paper. Investigators say that Hughes came out of the home and the teens went to leave, but Hughes tripped and fell into the street. He was hit by a truck investigators say was driven by 18-year-old Jaden Wallace, who now faces charges of first-degree vehicular homicide.
Yeah, I think the initial response was just, there's no way. There's no way that happened.
The 4 other students faced misdemeanor charges of trespassing and littering. Hughes wasn't just a coach and a teacher, but a mentor, a small group leader for groups of students and teachers. He's a husband to a fellow math teacher and father of 2 boys.
So I want to hear your opinion on should these they're older kids, so they're almost 18. Should they be let go? Should the charges be dropped? Or should there be some sort of alternate punishment, fitted to them? Something like an educational campaign, something like that about how these type of pranks can go wrong. None of them could have foreseen the fact that when they TP'd his trees at his house, that he would run out of the house all excited to come and catch them, that he would trip and fall in front of the truck as they were driving away. Like that's like a 1 in a million scenario. There's no way you could foresee that. No one could. And they couldn't either. Kelly said lesser charges with some kind of community service. Yeah, I wonder about like, do you think they should be convicted though? Like a conviction on your record makes you a con. It will mess up a lot of their lives. Every time you do a government form, anytime you go to fly outside of the country of the USA, you'll need to tick that box that says I am a criminal. Like I have been convicted of a crime, and it can mess up their employment and things like that. Maybe there's a way to give them the community service or something like that without actually laying a conviction against their record, because that would really suck. Gail said, I thought if you are with someone when they commit a crime, you all go down for it. Yeah, it's interesting how they didn't get the conspiracy charge for all of them. They're only doing the driver. The other ones get like littering. Kelly said some schools have issues with the senior pranks. I wonder about this school's senior prank, what their stance is. I would say they probably don't like it either. A lot of schools don't want their kids doing it. Gail said they wouldn't get into college or the jobs they had wanted. Yeah, and that seems like just a terrible negative. It seems like the opposite of what a teacher would have wanted for their kids. SPM said, this is why people lie. Something is an accident and it ruined a life. A person is blamed. I mean, I understand we talk about accountability a lot on this channel and people having to be accountable for their actions. It's just hard where it's like, where is it like an actual accident and where is it actually a crime? Yeah, 18, I think. So go up. Where are you making me go up to? Seniors in high school. Yeah, so they're getting there. They're almost 18. I think so it would ruin their lives basically. Hey Donna. Hey Donna, how are you? Graph is DV, I reckon. Trisha Graph is DV. Donna, you might be right. You may be right. SPML said senior prank to TPA house is so small, such a know-nothing thing. I've seen hundreds of these, never an issue. It's a 1 in a million. Definitely. I think it's like one of those just one in a million things where everything aligns for something bad to happen. Because, he could have tripped earlier and they never hit him. He could have tripped after they drove away, and then he would have just been on the road, maybe injured, and they would have still helped him. It's just that timing. So, yeah, it's really sad, really sad. Cold Case Girl said there's no malice or of afterthought, so I don't think they should be charged with what they have been charged with. It's a pretty hefty charge, right? I told about high school students that set a teacher's dog on fire. Well, we don't want that. We don't want that. Is it? Did they really do that? I don't see a story for that, but I believe you. I believe you. Gayla said they said don't do dangerous pranks. They only did TP. So yeah, I'll play the rest of the video.
Despite the gravity of this loss, his family is asking for grace for the students involved.
The family is very adamant about making sure that they do everything they can to drop the charges, whatever they can do, that they want to make sure that one tragedy doesn't turn into another. Jason wouldn't want that.
And the district attorney is not commenting on this case. Like I said in that story, Jason's wife is also a math teacher here. We understand her classroom is not very far away from his. One of the quotes that she said recently about her husband, that saying, being married to Coach Hughes is 10 out of 10. He supports me in everything I do. He encourages me. He loves me well, and that he is just the best. That family has asked for privacy right now. We're now live here outside of North Hall High School. I'm Candace McCowan for Channel 2 Action News.
Candace, just such an awful tragedy, and for all the families involved, their lives are changed forever. Candace, thank you.
Sorry, there we go. While we muted it, sorry about that. Laura T said, when you can, please see if there's any updates on Patricia Ewens, 73-year-old. I will have a look. Hey, Sienna, how are you, my friend? Good to see you. How you going? How's your phone? I hope your phone's doing better. So yeah, there's your update. They don't want him charged, which I am hopeful the DA and the family will come together on some sort of something for the kids. I just don't see it here. There was not like they went to his house and they're like, "Hey, we're gonna bash him or something." I don't think that's what was going on. It was just a lighthearted, seniors type thing. Ended up in a very sad situation. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, DA's call. We'll have to see what the DA wants to do. Hey, Moonlight View, how are you? No notification? It should have. We booked the show early. I don't know why sometimes the notifications don't go off. SPM said, how can kids set a dog on fire for a senior prank? I hope that wasn't true. I Googled it, but I couldn't find an article for it. And it says here, I'll tell you. It said here to me that there was no such thing. There are no verified reports of students setting a teacher's dog on fire. Search results indicate that while there have been incidents of students and teachers being attacked by dogs, but there's none that I could find where a person had been, set a dog on fire for a prank. I mean, it's probably happened. There's a million bloody prank stories with schools. SP Mama said that the seniors in our town were swimmers, and goggles until they sprayed with water guns. Okay, okay. So they sort of played a water game as a end of year thing. In Australia, they also don't. Uh, so Australia has a tradition of muck up day, and muck up day is sort of like the last day of school. Normally involves the seniors, the ones who are leaving. For that's their final day, and they normally have this sort of muck up day where they trash the school. They have gone to great efforts to outlaw this over the years now. Now that the schools do like a silent disco or, things like that, anything to distract the kids from doing pranks and setting off fire extinguishers and things like this because they got out of hand. Yeah, muck up day. Yeah, there a lot of schools don't want these sort of final muck up things happening. Let me see if I can find an example for you. I'm sure there is one. Yeah, I'll take you back to October of last year.
It's supposed to be a time for Year 12 students to let down their hair on the last day of Year 12. But one school, Bayview College, has taken it so far, the whole day might be scrapped. They were having wrestling with flour in the school halls. They put streamers up everywhere. You can see that on your screens. That would take hours to clean up. They put oil and glue on door handles. Now, Jamie, I love a bit of fun. I love the idea that after a stressful year doing the HSC, you can have that chance to just relax and be a kid. But that does take it too far, I think. And it's sad because they're going to ruin it for everyone.
Yeah, I think you're right there, where you want to be able to have a bit of fun and let your hair down, but to an extent. And I think that is absolutely, if the kids had to go back in and clean it up, I couldn't see any of that. But it's just funny because in comparison, there's other schools like Yarra Valley Grammar who decided to do like a mock of muck up day. So they were doing videos where they were just turning their pages upside down and like scribbling on their notes and dropping rubbish next to the bin. So that was wild for those of kids.
So you saw some some examples in those videos in Australia. This is like a very it's something that's been done for the generations over 50 years or more probably. But over the last 20 or so years, they have really tried to sort of get rid of it. The schools hate it, but the sort of tradition has survived. And unfortunately, kids still do it
because
now.
in comparison,
Kids have been threatened with like all sorts of different things, not being able to go to their final prom and not being able to partake in certain student activities in their final year, all these type of things. But you can see like oftentimes they'll really mess up the school, and they will like let off fire extinguishers. And yeah, where's another example? Yeah, put tape, put glue chairs to the roof, and all sorts of different things at the school. But Rachel said that's too far. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The Australians really sort of go hard in their muck up pranks. Gail said that went too far, I think. Yeah. Kim said make them clean it up. A lot of the time they are forced to clean it up. And what they will do is if one group of people commits a prank like this for muck up day, the entire year has to clean it up. So it's sort of like forcing like to make them think twice. Like if I do this, I'm going to make all these other people who are not involved have to clean up my mess. So that's sort of the rules that they've put into a lot of schools, that if you do it, your entire year level will have to come back and clean it all. So that is something they have said before. Kelly said, my daughter's high school did a senior game that was really fun. They played throughout the year on who can get out first. There was I've seen others that do the scavenger hunt throughout like the local area, and it sort of ties back to things that they've done, or things that mean something to the school. Those ones are pretty good. Kelly said the game they played was called Senior Assassin. It sounds pretty good. Sounds fun. I Hate Morning says definitely they should still be talking about the dog. Sure. I believe you. SP Mama, yeah. So there's what they do in Australia. It's called Muck Up Day, and a lot of the sort of schools are very unimpressed with it. They do not want it to occur. So that's the difference. In America, I think it's quite common to sort of prank your teachers, right? Down here, they don't prank the teachers. They just mess up the school. Here's one. They brought in, I can't remember what this was for, but there was a car that was rolled in one school at some point. I can't remember the stories behind it. But they basically turned over a car. What are some of the other ones they've done? They've tied people to poles and things like that before. I can show you an image of a poor kid that's been cellophaned to a pole. They glad wrapped him to a pole. So yeah, various different things. Kim said my grandpa used to get rid of animals they didn't want. Okay. Okay. So yeah, the schools really don't want it. But hey, it could be like America where people TP homes, and then unfortunately we have something go wrong, like in the Georgia teacher, and they died. So we'll see what happens with the DA with that one. And so far, they're just saying it's been referred to the district DA. So we'll have to wait and see. Bad grandpa, a little bit bad grandpa. All right, I want to talk about Rihanna. I want to talk about Rihanna. And you might be like, Ping, we don't talk about music on this channel. And I'll be like, but wait, just wait. A woman has been charged with attempted murder after shooting at the home of Rihanna. But I want to show you some things to do with her. I just want to grab this. So her name is Ivana Ortiz, and she is a very sick lady, and I'm going to explain why. Let me go here, Ivana. So she has been charged with attempted murder, and they are now saying where's my thing? Where is my video for all of you guys? Here. We want to go to the Los Angeles District Attorney Nathan Hochman. If I can. Yeah, we should go here. Sorry, guys. Everything's really slow today. Everything I click on takes like 30 seconds to load. And I don't know why. All right, here we go.
Is Nathan Hochman. I'm the District Attorney of Los Angeles County. Today I am here to announce the charges that have been filed against Ivana Lisette Ortiz, a 35-year-old woman from Orlando, Florida, in connection with the case in which she has now been arraigned. And by the way, that arraignment date has now been continued to March 25th. The charges that have been filed against Ms. Ortiz include 1 count of attempted murder, 10 felony counts of assault with a semi-automatic firearm, and 3 felony counts of shooting at an inhabited dwelling or camper. Any charges that have been filed, as I've said very often, are just that. They are not the evidence that we are presenting in court. That evidence will be presented in court at the appropriate time, at which point we intend to convict Ms. Ortiz of all the charges which have been leveled at this point beyond a reasonable doubt to either a judge or a jury. But summarizing the allegations that exist so far, on March 8th at approximately 1:20 p.m., Ms. Ortiz is accused of driving up to the residence of Rihanna, at which point she fires from her semi-automatic weapon multiple times at the residence. In that residence, Rihanna was there with her partner, her 3 children, her mother, and 2 staff people, representing 8 of the 10 of the counts of dealing with an assault with a semi-automatic firearm. In addition, Ms. Ortiz is accused of firing at a neighboring residence that had 2 additional individuals. That is why there are 10 felony counts of assault with a semi-automatic firearm.
She could have really hurt someone. Anytime you fire a gun at a property, you could kill someone. But the fact that she didn't almost kill Rihanna and her children, she could have killed the neighbor too. This woman has a long history. A long history. I was searching back through some of the court records in Florida about her. She's got some strange cases in Florida, including a case about a concert that took place in near her home. She was requesting documents because the festival or concert was disturbing her peace in her home. And she was like requesting all these type of documents about the planning of the event, and they denied it and were like, no, we're not giving out that information. And she launched a court case over it. I'm going to show you her. So her name is Ivana Ortiz, and I'll show you a photo here. If I can get it up on the screen for you. So there's a photo going around of her through her multiple legal interactions. So she has had some run-ins with the police in the past. She has multiple mugshots online, and the fact that she would even try and do this, I'm going to show you something else though. She has been targeting Rihanna for a long time. And on her Facebook page, she posts all these sort of videos about it. And she'll mention weird stuff like, oh, not today, Rihanna, you're not going to come and get me. Almost like as if Rihanna's watching the videos, and you just know that she isn't. How old is she? Yeah, let me grab you a breakdown of her details. So she's 35. She's actually from Orlando, Florida. So she's not super young. The weapon that she used was an AR-15 style semi-automatic weapon. That is what she used. Her bail has been set at $1.875 million. Her arraignment was done today and was continued to 25th of March. So she's going to be back in court in a few weeks. And she is in the Fultz Criminal Justice Center. She is a licensed speech pathologist, and she has prior arrests in Florida related to DV battery and violating a protection order. She has made specific posts on social media targeting Rihanna and other celebrities prior to the shooting. I'm going to take you to her Facebook page, and I'm going to show you a little bit of what she does. Here is her Facebook page. It is right here. And this is the last video that she posted. Okay.
Look at my legs. Look at my legs. can't fuck with me, Cardi B. You're supposedly busy right now. But you know who has the cutest outfit tonight? You know who's the cutest tonight? I am. I'm the cutest tonight. You ain't doing nothing to me. You ain't messing with me. You ain't messing with me. Ain't nobody pressed. Ivana's not pressed. Is Cardi B pressed? Shardy B? Yeah.
Who is she talking to? I don't know who she's talking to. Like, is there people watching? She just does this and walks around and like makes kissy faces and yeah. Anyway, I want to show you one
Yeah, I
of
was just in San Francisco last week. Actually, this week.
Were you?
No one wanted me to go
Didn't they?
to what Cardi B had going on.
What did Cardi B have going on?
I wonder why.
Yeah, I wonder too.
Ooh, I wonder why.
Yeah.
Ooh, I wonder why.
We're all wondering. Anyway, that's one of her videos that she posted. There's a bunch of others you can see here. And she references Rihanna here. She says, "Are you there? I was waiting for your very bad thing here. Self to say something to me directly instead of sneaking around like talking to me where I'm not at." So she thinks Rihanna is talking about her. And she posts all these strange videos. Here, there's a work thing. She's like, I'm at work. I post. She says she works in speech therapy, and she's with her clients or whatever. Says she's posing with her pageant trophies here, and then she talks about all her haters. She says, I already sent out the PSA to the haters that I was back on my bully and not to hate. Yet they are hating on me, not wanting a reaction from me, not getting one submitted to me. Jealousy. Okay. But there's another video down here if I can find it. And it's very disturbing. I'm just trying to find the correct one. Is this the one where she... Guys, you have to listen to this, and I'm sorry, because it's... Don't laugh at people who are sick, all right?
Work. That's what it took. Cause these bitches is acting like they doing shit. Cause these bitches is acting like they talking shit. Work. That's what it took. Cause these bitches is acting like they doing shit. Cause these bitches is acting like they talking shit. Cause these bitches is acting like they doing shit. Cause these bitches is acting like they talking shit.
Yeah. There you go. They be doing shit. I don't know what that means, but I don't think anyone's going to be buying that album. I don't think anyone wants it. But that's not the one I wanted to show you. There's another one where she talks about sort of
All the days of his vow of separation, no intelligence, and you've given me a clever mind. Thank you, Lord Jesus. Our haters. I may never... What the enemy meant for harm, God meant for good. What the enemy meant for evil, God meant for good. And truly today, God, I thank you, God. I thank you. Let's lift praises up to God for what he has done. Today, I praise you, God, for bringing things full circle, for fully bringing things, for truly bringing things full circle, God. And today, God showed me a time in my life. It was before I really had my 5-year experience really getting to know God. And I had an experience where, and God showed me today, I wasn't really that loving. Right now, I can testify that I am full of love. I am full of love and full of beauty, in the sense of love and beauty and beautiful things. And
I don't know about love, but she's full of something.
seeing the beauty in things. I can say that, that's how God has transformed me, because that's what he showed me about himself. But when I look back to the time before I really knew God and before he called me friend, I wasn't that loving. I was just going around with the woo of the world, with the spirit of the world, even though, I had barely a little bit of background in church, but I really transformed. And I hate to say it, but haters are mad for whatever reason. Haters are mad for whatever reason. And what they did to themselves, they need to keep it over there, because they did that to themselves for a reason. So I'm going to write that down. I may never know why haters are haters. I may never know why haters are haters. But I do know they are mad for blessings, about his keeping, about his guarding, about his peace, and about his favor. And I want him to definitely sow this word into my heart, to bury it deep inside, to hide it in my heart, lest I question him why.
All right, I'm not going to keep playing that, but that's some of it. But there's another one where she talks about Rihanna, and I just want to see if I can quickly find it. Is it this one?
Do what I did and I did it. I did what I did. You didn't don't. You didn't did. You didn't did. You didn't did. I did what I did. I did what I did and I do it again. I did what I did and I did it again. I did what I did. I did what I did. I did it again. Bo, bo, bo. Didn't don't. Didn't don't. Didn't don't. Don't. Bo, don't.
I don't know what that was, but if you know what that was, you let me know. She's got heaps of stuff on here on social media, especially on this Facebook account. Is it this one? No.
I call out to the Lord and he answers me from his holy mountain. I call out to the Lord and he answers me from his holy mountain. Like big heart on that scripture. Thank you, Lord. I call out.
Okay. Big Lord. Big heart.
Fire. And you know what? I think God is doing something here, because God speaks in a still small voice. And you know what? That is what I want. I do want quiet prayer time. So I just.
Anyway, it's a lot of videos like that. This is the lady who, for some reason, decided Rihanna has been stalking her or talking to her, doing something against her, to the point where she had to act out and go back and do what she did. But I'm not I'm not sure Rihanna would even know who she is. And it's very strange. It's like this attachment to a famous person. And
I know why haters are haters.
Yeah, we don't know why haters are haters. Yeah, we got that. We've seen this before with people that get like mentally attached or fixated with famous people. And look, she's tagging Bad Girl Riri, which is Rihanna, and she's saying more weird
The
stuff.
camera. This is going online. Here downtown. Sunday afternoon. It's been a great day.
And she just posts all this like stuff tagging Rihanna, and yeah, it's like a fixation on her, and she's saying things like, "Oh, Rihanna has a word, and she's done this and she's done that, and that she sent out this thing to her haters," and
No, it's me. I'm what you can't stand to see.
random things like that, and her rapping. Yeah, so this is the lady, and again, yeah, tagging, a lot of tagging of Rihanna
You
and
can't fuck with me, Cardi B. You're supposedly busy right
Cardi
now.
B too.
You're supposedly busy right now.
Busy with who exactly? Like it's almost like she's it's almost like some of these people, and I think she's obviously got some sort of mental illness, some sort of something like schizophrenia, but like something adjacent to that. There's some people who have these mental illnesses where it's almost like they're in a movie and they think everyone's like focused on them, and that it's sort of playing out like it would of a TV show or yeah, a movie or a reality TV, that type of thing, where it's, she thinks she's this and she has a beef with Rihanna and everyone is watching her. Bipolar, I maybe, but I think it's more like delusional. Like there's delusions in here, possibly auditory as well, because she says she's like, "Oh, I hear all this stuff, and Rihanna's been saying this about me," and it fits sort of some of the boxes for schizophrenia, but not all of them. Yeah, almost like she's in the Truman Show, and she thinks everyone is looking at her and talking about her. Unfortunately, there is. I've seen this before, and it's really, really, yeah, it's like a form of delusion disorder. It's really sad. It is really sad. Yeah, look, you can't excuse what she did. She took a semi-automatic weapon, went out to Rihanna's home, and shot it up. Like, but the thing I ask is, how come with all these posts over years, we're talking years, if I scroll back, this goes back for a very long time. How come she was never flagged or picked up by anyone? No one in Florida, maybe even some of the celebrities. And I know celebrities get a lot of random weirdos every single day, so they maybe didn't think anything about it. But, this is why when you see people who are fixated on a certain person and they have no relation to that person, you should take it seriously, because it sounds a little bit funny and we can all have a laugh at it until they pick up a semi-automatic pistol or rifle and head out to their home and shoot it up. Like that's sort of the, you know, flip side. It's all funny social media posts until they pick up a weapon and go do something. And it just comes randomly. Like it'll just happen all of a sudden. Um, and it's weird because some of her earlier posts, she seems quite okay. Like she's talking about, normal things that people talk about. And then it just delves into um all this stuff about Rihanna and celebrities and God and how the haters are out for her, all these different things. And it's you can see a small child, one of her children, I would think, in the back seat here, which is very sad. I hope they're okay. But yeah, there you go. The lady who shot up Rihanna's house. Callie Girl said the wheel is going, but the hamster is dead. A little bit. SP1 said, often legally there is no way to combat these things. Well, I hope she gets the help she needs in prison. And yeah, that's what I hope. But, this could have been so different. There could have been so many people dead. We could have been looking at, Rihanna being shot and killed in her own home by this person if it just went slightly differently. And that's, how serious it is. Chipmunk said people read into things online. Too many people were on Dr. Phil when they had an obsession with a famous person. The one lady thought Putin was talking to her. He wore this color tie today because of me. Yeah, very much like that. That's exactly what's going on with her. Gail said, I thought this was normal in Florida. I don't think it's normal anywhere. Rachel said, not sure what they can do unless they actually made threats. That's the thing. She never actually makes any threats. I've watched all of the videos, and as far as I can ascertain, she never actually makes a violent threat against anyone. She just sort of has these weird sayings and things like, oh, Cardi B, aren't you out there? Aren't you? I was out there. What are you doing, girl? Like, um, yeah, bit strange. So that apparently is why now we have the DA Hockman announcing charges against her after she shot up Rihanna's home. Let me show you. If you haven't seen it, I'm surprised you guys haven't. I'm sure most of you have. But let me show you Rihanna's home. Let me go grab a video for it. Yeah, let's go to ABC 7.
New clues now in the assault rifle attack on Rihanna's mansion as we're learning more about the woman police say opened fire on the Grammy winner's home. Eyewitness News reporter Liz Nagy live outside the Beverly Glen home with new revelations tonight. Liz.
Mark, tonight investigators are looking into new videos posted online long before they say Ivana Ortiz showed up here outside Rihanna's home with a gun. Now tonight, what investigators are really trying to figure out is if Ortiz traveled from her home in Orlando here to LA with the intention of shooting Rihanna or her home. Locked in an LA County jail for a second night on a multi-million-dollar bond, investigators are now digging into the criminal history and online musings of Ivana Ortiz, this Florida woman arrested and charged with trying to kill Rihanna. The R&B singer had apparently been on Ortiz's mind for some time.
Listen, Rihanna, when you die, God is taking me to my future. You want to kill me. Shut the up.
Investigators are now looking at this rambling talk-to-camera video posted on January 4th and many others like it on Ortiz's social media profiles. Strapped with a semi-automatic rifle, LA investigators say Ortiz rolled up outside Rihanna's Beverly Glen home and fired multiple rounds at the house. Tape on the front gate now covers roughly half a dozen bullet holes.
Wesley unit, shooting just occurred. 10 gunshots fired from the vehicle. I believe the shots came from across the street.
The Grammy Award-winning singer was home at the time, but it's still not clear if her partner, A$AP Rocky, and their 3 children were also there. Monday, passing tour buses were full of people who seemed baffled by the violent crime.
I don't know what gets into these people, why anyone would want to harm such a sweet person like Rihanna.
After fleeing the scene, police tracked Ortiz's Tesla and arrested her near a Sherman Oaks mall Sunday afternoon.
Our criminalists are going to be doing some trajectory analysis. They're going to need the street in order to get that.
Monday, investigators spent the day retracing an alleged attempted murder that somehow ended without a single injury. All the more incredible because investigators say those bullets actually hit at least 2 other homes on this block. Tonight, Ortiz is locked in jail on attempted murder charges with more than $10 million bond. We're live in Beverly Glen tonight. Liz Nagy, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
There you go. Yeah, it's a long drive, right? Diane said, if it wasn't an attack on a famous person, we wouldn't have heard about it. How many other people has she terrorized? Probably her neighbors, probably other people. Yeah, probably a lot of people, I would say. And you can tell, like, she's obviously had run-ins with the, she had a DV filing against her as well. It's interesting. That particular video, that's the one I was looking for when we were going through her Facebook page, the one you saw on that video, but it seems to be gone. I don't know if the cops got it pulled down or something, but it's not there anymore. Listed as January 4, but there's no video there for January 4 anymore. I'm just having a quick look. Yeah, there's no video there anymore. So I'm not sure what happened with that particular video. Maybe the cops got it pulled down. There is a here. So that's the outfit she was wearing during that video. There's a photo, but the video is not there anymore. There was a video posted, but it's not there. Maybe they took it down. Then she posted this one, just one more before we go. I don't know what this means. Maybe you guys can tell me, but
Are your videos recording? Daniel Fast Live. Daniel Fast Live. Daniel Fast Live. No, go ahead, fall in. Daniel Fast Live. Oh no, fall in. Daniel Fast Live. Daniel Fast Live. Daniel Fast Live. Daniel Fast Live. Keep recording. Grab your bagel.
what was that? If you guys know what that is, please tell me because I don't know what that is. Kelly said, "Who's recording her? I want to talk to them." It might be her kid. That's what I was thinking, that it might be her child that's holding the camera. Cold Case Girl said, Daniel fast refers to the Bible. Daniel in the Bible only ate vegetables. Okay, interesting. Yeah, what is that? Daniel. It's like a diet. It's called the Daniel Fast, a 21-day plant-based vegan and sugar-free eating plan derived from the Bible, Daniel 1 and 10, commonly used for spiritual rather than dietary purposes. It emphasizes whole foods like fruit, vegetables, legumes, and nuts while avoiding animal products, caffeine, alcohol, sweeteners, and processed food. Well, that's interesting because she was filming from a Starbucks. So that's not the greatest place to film from if you're trying to avoid caffeine and processed food. Yeah, I've never heard of it. Daniel Fast Live. There you go. So I'm guessing she's showing off her her Daniel Fast live on air. That's what she's doing. She's showing everyone her fasting plan. But it's almost like she thinks she has a following. And I know she's gained people friending her now. What is it on her thing? Let's have a look. 168 friends. Praying Woman's Journal on YouTube. Okay. Let's have a look. Praying Woman's Journal. She has 200 subscribers, but I'm sure that has gone up since like this all happened. I doubt it's been that high since, before all this stuff happened. But it's basically just more of that journaling that we saw on the Facebook page, more like that. Danny says Daniel Fast Live is not in the Bible. Apparently, the Daniel fasting is based off a thing in the Bible. Like I said, Daniel 1 and 10, it's based off something in those books in the Bible. I don't know. I don't know exactly what that means, but that is what it is telling me. It said it is derived from the Bible, books Daniel 1 and 10. So there you go. Yeah, it can be. It can be. I would say it's possible that fasting, depending on how it's done, can be a good thing. Could, like anything, if you get obsessive with it and not doing it right, can be bad. So there you go, Ivana. Ivana Ortiz and her social media post that came before she went and shot up Rihanna's home. I don't know what to make of it. You guys let me know. And yeah, by the way, thank you to all the people posting comments. I read them. So we have a creator thing for YouTube. And when people post comments, we get like a little box that comes up and we're able to read them through our dashboard. So I'm hardly ever actually on the video in the comments, but we get like a created dashboard in our phone. So I read everyone's comments every day. I read everyone's. That's why I know when I see our friends in the comments, people I haven't seen in ages, and I'll talk about them on the show. It's because I've seen them in the comments. Chipmunk said, it's eating certain things, no meat, no bread, no alcohol, sounds no good. It's to help the body ward off diseases. Sounds like it's warding off fun. Danny says, I will look into Daniel 1:5 in the Bible, never read. Okay, let us know what you find. Kelly said, it shows she clearly is on TikTok and online a lot, like we see with the younger kids. Well, she won't be online in jail. They're not going to let her have a phone. Look, hopefully she gets some help. It's obvious. I don't know what. You'd have to ask an insightful one. She might know which particular diagnosis would closer fit to her, but there's obviously something going on. Truth be told, hey, my friend, are her children with family? I would guess they would be. I don't know anything about her, her kids or anything, but they were in a few videos. Let me just see if I can find anything. So, according to Florida court records from April of 2024, a judge awarded full physical custody to the children's father, stripping Ortiz of all contact, including in-person, phone, and electronic communications. Wow. Wow, she got stripped of all her parental rights. Holy crap. The ruling followed concerning testimony regarding Ortiz's mental health. The judge expressed fears that she might not return the child to the father if granted visitation. In 2023, she was arrested in Orlando for DV battery after allegedly attacking her ex-husband during a child drop-off. At the time of the shooting at Rihanna's home, the daughter was reportedly in sole custody of the father. So, sounds like a couple of years ago, something happened in court and they stripped her rights completely. She has no video rights, no phone rights, no visitation, no contact, basically, no health rights, nothing. Basically, as if that child is not in her life at all. Wow. The judge must have been very, very concerned. Cold Case Girl said, good, the father has them. Yep, that sounds good. Hey, Betsy, how are you? I was watching. She is scary. I agree, she is scary. Kelly said, thank God the courts got the child away. Imagine if it happened around now, we might be reading a completely different story. It may have been a mum and child die in murder S word. It could have been something like that. Gail said, so who were the kids in her video? I don't know. I'm guessing it is her child, but when was it filmed? Let's have a look. I can probably go back to it. If we can get back to that page. Yeah. Let me go back. Like, when was the time the kid was in it? I'm just scrolling back to see when was that car video with the kid in it. Seems like it was a while ago. Earlier this year, but I don't know who or why has the kid in the car. So maybe the dad does let her see the child every now and then. Maybe. Yeah, it definitely looks like, when was this video? 19th of Feb. Is that the one that has the little kid in it? No. Yeah, I think it might be really, really far back in her history. Um, 8th of November. Nope. Looks like a while ago. I'm not sure exactly. And I don't know whether that's actually her kid or not. No idea. Can't tell you. Sorry. Truth be told said, "Wow, Ping, thank you for finding info on the children and father." You are welcome. Chipmunk said, "Should only be visits with a special place and authority." It could be. Maybe they have, like, sometimes, like we saw in that Oklahoma case, you have like an appointed outside third party that has to be there during any type of visitation. That they maybe have something like that, possibly. All right. Let me check. Okay. Hey, by the way, I want to thank my friend Kathy Lynch. Kathy, thank you so much for the donation. It's very kind of you. I've had a few updates about the April court. You guys know we're in pre-trial. I can't actually tell you anything, but seems like everything is sort of chugging along, and we should get to trial next month. So not that long to go now, about a month or so away. And any updates that I can tell you, I'll let you know. But it'll just happen like we did last year with Erin. One day we weren't at trial, the next day we were, and it consumed 3 months. So that's what'll happen. Chipmunk says, "How many men, how men sleep with women like that? I just don't get the turn on." I don't know. Don't ask me. I don't know. I wouldn't sleep with her. Kim said, "Men don't care as long as the women say yes." I don't know. Ping's a little more picky. Ping likes more than a woman that just says yes. I don't know. Maybe some men like that. Not Ping. You know, my girlfriend always tells that to Mrs. Ping all the time. She's always like, he doesn't like it if you just say yes. So they have that conversation every day. Chipmunk says, "I know, just call me Kim." Yes, I agree with you. All right, let's keep going. I think we've got one more update for you. All right, let's see. Ha, ha, ha. All right. We like dumb people, right? We love dumb people. I want to take you back to Florida. Let's go to Florida because I want to take you to why some people shouldn't have children. All right. Let me take you to Wesh 2. It's not a very long video, but I'll give you the details.
County deputies say this woman, Amanda Thorpe, left her 12-year-old child alone at Universal City Walk while she went to another bar. Deputies say they found the child visibly upset and crying on a bar stool by the bar. Deputies later found the mom on the dance floor at another club with a drink in hand. She is facing child neglect charges.
All right, so you all know her now, Amanda Thorpe. All right, so at the Shoreline Bar on Saturday night about 10:30 p.m. after a bar patron saw her flip off her daughter and tell her F you and stormed out. The patron told the bartender what they'd seen, and the bartender contacted Universal Security, who called the sheriff's office. Her daughter is 12, by the way, 12 years old. 12. Let me take you out. I'll get the I've got a court document here. If I can do this, hold on, guys. I hate when they keep asking you to log in. Give me a sec, guys. No, we don't want to do that. All right. Here we go. So I have her arrest affidavit here from the Orange County Sheriff's Office, $2,500 bond. She was arrested at 6000 Universal Boulevard. Amanda Laurel Thorpe. She's 5 foot tall, resides at some address that I'm not going to read out on air. And let's read it here. They're saying here that apparently the juvenile informed security that her mother had left her while she went to the bar. The officer's investigation concluded with a white female being transported to BRC in violation of Florida Statute 827.3, neglect of a child. And they say here, upon arrival, assisting deputies on scene, I made contact with Universal Security, who informed us they received a report of a missing 12-year-old juvenile who was left in the area of the Shoreline Bar. And they're saying here, this is while her mother left her and went to another bar. Assisting deputies, they made contact with the juvenile, who was visibly upset, crying, and sitting alone on a bar stool by the bar. They were able to interview the juvenile, and the following is a brief of what happened. On March 7, 2026, Redacted was at the Shoreline Bar with her mother, Amanda, who was already intoxicated. An unidentified patron of the bar stated something that upset Amanda. Amanda then stated that she wanted to go to the Red Coconut Club, which the daughter responded that she wanted to go back to the hotel room because she was tired. Amanda got livid with the daughter, displaying the middle finger, and said, F you, and left the Shoreline Bar without her daughter. Another unidentified patron got the attention of the bartender, who notified Universal Security about the situation. Speaking with the daughter, Universal Security advised that other security members found a female subject matching the description they were provided of Amanda inside the Red Coconut Club. Once arriving at the Red Coconut Club, Universal Security guided them towards the female subject, who was on the dance floor by herself with an alcoholic beverage in hand. Once escorted out of the club, the female was later identified as Amanda Thorpe. The following is what happened and her verbal statement. Amanda said she was not aware that her daughter was missing while she was inside the Red Coconut Club and believed that her daughter was with her the whole time. Amanda later explained that her daughter was in the hotel room and not at City Walk. Additionally, Amanda spontaneously uttered that she was confused about why she would possibly go to jail, as she had done this before. Good work admitting to crimes that they don't know about. It should be noted that while speaking with Amanda, I noticed that Amanda had red, bloodshot eyes, uncontrollable swaying of the body, unbalanced while walking, and the scent of fruity purities coming from her breath, which, based on my training, knowledge, and experience, are indications of impairment from an alcoholic beverage. So there you go. She lied to authorities about it too. Tried to say that my daughter's back at the hotel room, and she was not. I think that is, how is that to prioritize your drinking over your daughter's safety, leaving a 12-year-old girl of that age alone in a bar in Florida. Actually, scratch that. Anywhere, a 12-year-old girl. You are asking for some weirdo to hurt her. You really are. You are asking for some predator to whisk her away and hurt her. This lady is she deserves all the jail she gets. Imagine doing that. Imagine taking your daughter to Universal Studios or Universal, is it Universal Studios? What's Universal City Walk? Is that like the theme park? Yeah. Wait, no. Sorry guys, I've never been there. I'm trying to find out what it is. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's like a theme parky thing. Yeah, Universal Studios. Like a theme park. That's what it looks like. But imagine taking your daughter to Universal Studios on a mother-daughter getaway, and instead of having fun with her and making memories that she'll hold dear for a lifetime about the time mum took me to Universal City Walk, you go and get drunk, get arrested, and leave your daughter unaccompanied in a bar because you want to go to a different bar. You win Shit Parent of the Year, and it's only March. You win Shit Parent of the Year. Really, I feel so sorry for your daughter. How's that? You know, mum tells you you're going to go on this great trip together. We're going to go to Universal. We're going to have fun. And instead, she does that to her daughter. That poor kid, man. I hope they take the kid away from her. Where's dad? Where's dad? I hope dad's in the life and maybe can take the daughter. I'm just trying to see if we can find a photo. There's her mugshot. All right, let's look her up. What's her name? Amanda Thorpe. She looks drunk in that photo. Look at the way the head is tilted forward. Let's look her up on Facebook. Let's look it up. Amanda Thorpe. Let's see if we can find her on the old Facebook. I don't think that's her. Oh, is it? No, it's not her. Trying to see if I can find her profile or not. There is an Amanda Thorpe on Facebook that said on March 2nd, 9 years clean and sober. Congratulations to you, Amanda Thorpe. But I don't think you're the Amanda Thorpe that we're looking for. I think you're a different Amanda Thorpe. Yeah, I can't seem to find. I can't seem to find the one that is in the mugshot, and it's a pretty common last name too. I see a lot of people reporting the story, but not her profile or anything. Yeah. Oh, is that her? No. A lot of blonde ladies called Amanda. A lot of blonde ladies. All right. No, can't find her, unfortunately. She's her own roller coaster. She is a little bit, right? I feel so sorry for her daughter, though. Imagine that, flipping off your own daughter and telling her F you because the daughter wanted to go back to the hotel room. I don't understand why you can't be responsible. Okay, say you want to go out and get plastered. You're like, mummy needs to have sex with a random guy in a toilet at Universal because mummy's been pent up for 9 months with school and car drop-offs and the divorce with dad or something, fine. You're an adult. You can do whatever the hell you want. But drop your daughter back at the hotel room and give her some room service and something like that. Make sure she's having fun with the cable, cable TV, put a movie on. You can go get whatever in a bathroom at Universal all you want, but take the girl home. Like, take her back to the hotel room. I would like to know what happened earlier in the night. How long had Amanda Thorpe been drinking for? It doesn't tell us in the police report, but I'm guessing it wasn't like an hour. I'm guessing it was a lot longer, but it doesn't tell me how long it might have been. Poor girl, 12 years old, and mum is a trash bag. Yeah, that's all I have on it, though. I don't have too much more, but I wanted to bring it to you because the things people do, right? The stupid things that people do that have children. Let me see. I want to know where the little girl is now. Where is she? So apparently Amanda Thorpe posted the $2,500 bond and is out of jail. But they don't say what happened to the 12-year-old girl. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have any further information on. Even Law and Crime doesn't have it. So not sure what happened to the daughter. But she posted bail once she sobered up. There you go. So, useless parent of the year. They don't appreciate what they have. I know, right? Imagine having a beautiful 12-year-old girl to spend your time with, not like as a parent. That's like one of life's greatest gifts. And you could have done so much more with her, had fun on the rides, had a real mummy and daughter weekend together, had fun at Universal, taken a lot of crazy photos. And that's sad to me that mum would rather prioritize her drinking instead. Moonlight View said 4 hours. Could have been 4 hours, yeah. Let's see. I don't think it tells us in the document. Yeah, it doesn't tell us, but I would suggest she's been there a while, considering it was 17 past midnight. Oh my god, that kid's been dragged around from bar to bar. Well, she was charged at midnight, sorry. At 10:28. That's when the cops got there. That poor kid's been dragged around bars at like 10:30 at night. Jeez, what was it? It was March 8th. What was March 8th? Oh, it was Sunday. It was Sunday. Okay, so even on a Sunday, mummy's out drinking at 10:30 at night. Jeez. I feel sorry for the daughter. Oh, here we go. Redacted, was notified of the incident, responded to the scene and picked up redacted. And then it says DCF was notified of the incident. The fact that it says DCF was notified of the incident and then it says redacted, tells me that it sounds like maybe the child's father came and picked her up because it says DCF was notified. That doesn't mean that DCF picked her up. So it sounds like maybe dad came and got her, which is thank God she had someone who's not a loser in her life come and get her. Sorry, guys. All right. Yeah, so yeah, someone picked her up. I'm guessing it was dad. And yeah, there you go. They say my body worn camera was activated. I reckon we could get the body worn camera. I'm gonna ask. I have someone who knows how to get stuff from Florida. I'm gonna ask him if we can get the body cam. Because I want to see not the child, but I want to see Amanda and see what she was doing. What is going? There we go. Yes. It's a long day for a kid, right? I agree. Sleeping. Kathy said, I wouldn't even leave a 12-year-old alone in the hotel room. No, me either. I mean, I'd leave them in the hotel room as long as it was locked from like her side so she controlled the lock and no one could get in. I probably would. At 12, I probably would. But not younger. Not younger than that. Chipmunk said, if one has responsibility, shouldn't drink to get drunk, period. Parenting is a top job to do, right? Marlene said, Mum, go on a cruise by yourself. Yeah, send daughter to dad and you go on a 3-day cruise around the Bahamas or something. Do that. You can be the trashy trash bag that you want to be on a cruise by yourself and not have a child to care for. You want to go out and get sloppy. You want to wake up in a bed that's not yours. Have fun. You're an adult. You can do that. It's probably how you ended up with a 12-year-old. That's fine. But don't do it with your kid. Don't leave your kid in a bar. It's ridiculous. It surprises me that we don't have licensing to become a parent. Like I feel like we need an exam. Like before you have a kid, you have to go get an exam, and they're like, can you be responsible? And someone's like, what does that mean? And they're like, no kids for you. Try again in 2 more years. Come back in 2 years when you know the word responsible. Chipmunk said, Mum slept with the cook on the cruise ship. Your mum did? Is that how you were born? 12. Yeah, she's only 12, right? Ship's bike. Don't know if that's a cool thing to call her, but sure. Chipmunk said, yeah, I agree with you guys. I agree with all of you. Oh, yeah. Girl's age. She was 12. She was 12. Good to see you, Moonlight View. Hope you are feeling better these days, my friend. All right. Let me see here. Guys, give me a second. Sorry, guys. Mrs. Ping's calling, and I was like, had to answer it for a second. I'm not sure what's wrong. I'm trying to find out. Okay. I hope that sorts itself out. Kathy said a lot of people could not pass a parenting test. I agree with you. Not this lady anyway. Not when she's in a bar. I'm sure she probably feels very embarrassed to have her photos splashed all over the internet this week. I'm sure of it. But I'm hoping that maybe someone's looking out for that little 12-year-old girl. What a terrible story. The fact that she would flip off her own daughter, that makes it even weirder to me. There's her photo, by the way. Does anyone know what the tattoo on her shoulder means? It's in Roman numerals. Maybe the birth of the daughter, maybe. That's what I would think. So she lives in Lake Mary. Lake Mary. Where is Lake Mary? Seminole County. Okay. Let me have a look. So they're from the area. They're actually from the area. She's a local. She's a local to Orlando. She's from the area. Where's her? You know, it's even sadder. Deputies later found Thorpe on the dance floor by herself. So she was just walking around dancing on her own with a drink in her hand. It wasn't the dad who came. It was the child's grandfather was contacted and picked up the girl, and the Department of DCF was notified. Okay, it wasn't dad. It was granddad. Granddad came and got the child. So there you go. Mystery solved about what happened to the daughter. All right. All right, my ladies and gentlemen. They only live 30 minutes from the bar. Hey, RX girl, how are you, my friend? Good to see you all. How old is mom? I thought we said it. 33. She's 33 years old. So if daughter's 12, she had her at 21. So she was 21 when she had the kid. So she was a young mom. She was pretty young. I mean, 21. Let's see. So yeah, she's going to have to face that charge of child neglect. Very, very awful. I don't know what relationship she normally has with the kid and why it had to be granddad that came to pick up the child, but good work for granddad. Glad that granddad was available at midnight to come and get the child. Let's go. All right. Let me see if I got one more. Do I have one more for you? We might. Let me see if we had this one. Nope. Let's do a update for a missing 16-year-old girl. There is a missing young lady, and I'll take you out to the story. To KRCR, 16-year-old Madison Fields. Madison Fields, there's a photo of her. They're saying here, it's been more than 3 weeks since 16-year-old Madison Fields was last seen by her parents or by anyone. What started as a search for a missing teen in Coleraine Township, Ohio, has shifted to an FBI investigation into the dark corners of the internet, encrypted apps, and private messaging software. And the people who hide there preying on kids and teenagers. We know now that a 43-year-old man named Kyle Lawrence has been arrested in Buffalo, New York, in connection with the investigation. He's been charged with transportation and intent to engage in criminal sexual activity, travel with intent to engage in illicit sexual conduct, and transportation of child CSAM. Let's try and find out what more we can find about him. So he was arrested a while ago. I'm going to take you out to this one.
This morning, the man facing charges as the search continues for a 16-year-old girl from Coleraine Township is due in federal court.
A lot of people worried about this young lady. It comes more than 3 weeks after Madison Fields was last seen. WLWT News 5's Giacomo Luca. He's live at the federal courthouse downtown. Giacomo, what can you tell us?
Yes, Stephen. Well, that 43-year-old Kyle Lawrence, he'll appear for a detention hearing later today. That's where a judge is going to decide whether or not he can go out on bond while he awaits trial. Court records also show that Lawrence will be using a public defender. Now, he does face a long list of charges. He's been in the Butler County Jail since being extradited from his home state of New York. He's facing charges related to child porn and sexual activity. But he is not being charged with Madison Field's disappearance at this time. Madison was last seen leaving her family home where she was staying over on Colerain Avenue back on February 13th. Her father says Madison told her sister that she was meeting an 18-year-old that she met on an encrypted messaging app, but an FBI affidavit shows in the weeks before her disappearance, Lawrence drove to Cincinnati on 2 separate occasions to pick Madison up and take her to local hotels. The same affidavit says Lawrence admitted he communicated with Madison on Snapchat and would use the app's location services to figure out where to pick her up. However, that affidavit says nothing about where Madison is now. She is still considered an endangered missing child. Of course, the Colerain Township Police Department still looking for her. Now, I did speak with her father yesterday. He was very emotional. He said that he's very worried about where his daughter might be, and he says he remains committed to looking for her. Now, as for Lawrence, his appearance today, that's set for 1:30. We'll be there, and we'll let you all know what happens. We're live downtown Giacomo Luca, WLWT, News 5.
So I think the question has to be, where's the kid? Where is she? Because they didn't find her. That's very concerning. Well, they found him, Kyle Lawrence, and he's been picked up now, charged with a ton of heavy charges. But we just got to know what happened to the little girl. I'm very concerned for her safety. If he didn't have her, then where is she? They're saying here that they're looking at a land search and rescue in different places to try and find her. Oh my God. Let me see here. 16-year-old Madison Fields. It's very concerning that he's been charged on those charges in relation to her, but they don't have her. That's the thing that keeps getting me. Why don't they know where she is? Let me take you out to a video from like a few weeks ago when this first started.
Security footage tonight that shows the moments leading up to the disappearance of a 16-year-old girl in Colerain Township.
Yeah, the family of Madison Fields says that this video shows her on a security camera last Friday, the night that she was last seen. And tonight they held a search party in that very same area. WLWT News 5's Sean McKinnon was there. Sean.
Mike Sheree, Madison's family is worried. They say she's never run away in the past, but she could be talking with a stranger on a messaging app. They brought those concerns to police, but have been working nonstop all this week to spread the word themselves.
Please help us. Whoever's out there, Maddie, if you're watching, Mama loves you, and I promise you we're going to find you.
Family and friends of Colerain High School sophomore Madison Fields going door to door, hoping neighbors on Harry Lee Lane have seen her.
There are people here I don't know. They just seen it and they showed up to come to support. It's amazing.
The owner of a liquor store nearby showed a security camera video from last Friday at 4, the day Madison went missing. Her family says she's seen walking away from the hotel they're living in, Nike backpack on, carrying a grocery bag.
Just seeing her just walk away and disappear just put some kind of fear in me.
We talked with neighbors living right around the corner from the store. One woman says she saw Madison on Friday, who took a different turn from her normal walking route.
This time it was totally different. She went down the driveway. Didn't see her again after that.
Her father, Tyler Hearn, says Madison told her sister she was going to meet an 18-year-old she connected with on an anonymous encrypted messaging app called Session. Madison's father says he's gotten no sleep as his search continues.
Can't stop crying. My head hurts. I'm just broken.
And now they've arrested this guy in Buffalo with these charges in relation to her. And you heard some of them, like transporting minor across state lines for illicit, things. Oh my God. I'm just trying to see here. Yeah, so a 43-year-old man, transportation for sexual activity. And they're saying authorities in Ohio Land Search and Rescue continue to seek information regarding her current whereabouts. And they're trying to, I don't know, trying to find her out. Trying to find her. And they're saying New York man due in federal court Tuesday on child exploitation charges. Let's see. The man is accused of meeting up with a 16-year-old Coleraine Township girl weeks before she disappeared. Okay, so he was from before she disappeared. So, okay. So where is she now? I know we found a guy who might have met up with her before, but where is she now? She's still considered an endangered missing child. My God. She's been missing for a long time. These bloody creeps, right? She's only 16. He's 43. It's scary. Really, really scary. So he's been in a detention hearing. I'm guessing they're going to keep him behind bars and they're not going to, thanks Moonlight View. I appreciate it. They're not going to let him out. Not on these type of charges anyway. Who's messaging me? Let's see. Kyle Lawrence will appear in a detention hearing. Well, today was Tuesday. Ah, here we go. Found it.
A Cheektowaga man is facing sexual exploitation charges after authorities connected him to a teenage girl missing out of Southwest Ohio. Investigators say Kyle Lawrence met the girl online and traveled to a Cincinnati suburb to see her. He's not been charged in her disappearance. Artrita Catterson has the details.
On February 26th, FBI agents in Buffalo executed a search warrant here at a home on Rio Avenue in Cheektowaga. But investigators say the case began to develop in Ohio. And now 43-year-old Kyle Lawrence is facing a slew of federal sexual exploitation charges. Court documents obtained by News 4 detail the investigation into 43-year-old Kyle Lawrence of Buffalo. In mid-February, 16-year-old Madison Fields of Ohio asked to spend the night at a friend's house, but never returned home. As police began to investigate her disappearance, they discovered she had been communicating on Snapchat with an older man believed to be Lawrence. Investigators say he traveled from New York to the Cincinnati area multiple times, picking Fields up near her home and taking her to hotels to allegedly engage in sexual activity.
This is a horrendous story. This is what every parent dreams about. That's their nightmares, is that someone that's an adult from out of the area or within the area communicates with their child and then engages in sexual acts with their child. And the child goes missing here. It's a horrible scenario.
The FBI executed a search warrant at Lawrence's Cheektowaga home, where they seized a cell phone and a laptop. Court documents say Lawrence admitted to the FBI agents he possessed child sexual abuse material. He was charged with several sexual exploitation charges, but has not been charged in Fields' disappearance. Legal analyst Barry Covert says he believes police are still actively investigating how he could be involved. If convicted, Lawrence can face up to life in prison. If you have any information.
Well, I hope it is life in prison. We don't want these creeps around. What a horrible excuse for a human being. The mission now is to fucking find the girl. Like, they figured out he was doing stuff with her before she would disappeared, but who met up with her when she disappeared? That's what we need to find out. That girl's been missing for weeks, a month. Great you found him. Yes, he did stuff with her and he should be, put in prison. But where is she? Like, that's what I'm more concerned about. And if he was that far away from Ohio, apparently he offered her vape pens in exchange for sex on one occasion with meeting up with her. We've really got to talk to our young people, for like everyone who's parents, grandparents. Like, if you are a sex worker, that's one thing. That's fine. You want to exchange a session for vape pens? Sure, you could do that as an adult. She's a child. Why does she have this mentality to want to do that? What is going on in her life that makes her think that, you know, she's worth so little that she's only worth a vape pen? I would like to know what is going on in her life that makes her devalue herself so much, because it just seems like what was she doing? You know, I'm okay. Like, Ping's one of the big advocates for sex workers and stuff. I'm like, I do heaps of stories on them to demystify their trade and try and treat them like normal people because they deserve to be treated and valued. But there's so many questions about why this girl would want to do that. They were living in a hotel. Well, that's part of it. That's probably part of her, like, living situation is probably not great. Poor girl, man. Yeah, living in a hotel. Gail said maybe she's feeling that way, living in a hotel with her family. I know it's if she thought that is her escape, I'd love to know where she is now. Kim says her home life doesn't sound great. It doesn't sound ideal. No, it doesn't. Let me close some tabs. We literally have like 70 tabs open right now. Too many stories. We did too many stories tonight. If I get an update on her, I'll let you know. I hope we do. Poor girl. There's a lot of questions about. I think there's a lot of questions around what was going on, even though her family were living in a hotel. What was going on before that as well? Why she felt the need to do that, even though, you know, her parents are living in a hotel. Chipmunk says running from or to. Yep, could be right. Maybe her family are fantastic people that just fell on hard times. It could be. I'd still want to question about what would drive a young person to do that, and now be considered a national missing child. I'll keep an eye on that one. If I hear anything else about him or other people they might be interested in, I will let you know, and we'll come back tomorrow. It's I'm getting used to the time change. It's interesting going on so early now, but we'll get used to it over the coming weeks. And then in April, it goes back another hour. So today it's 3 o'clock. In a week, it'll be 2 o'clock. So we jump hours within a month. Yeah, I love you all so much. If you haven't hit that thumbs up, we're really trying to break that 200 mark, and we just haven't. We've gotten close a couple of times. Hit that thumbs up for Ping. I don't ask for a lot from my viewers, but if you can hit that thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't subscribed, if you want to talk about all the cases going on, we do it every night. We talk about 500 cases. Come here, subscribe, and hang out with us each night. Yeah. Have a great day. Have a great night. Get some rest, everyone. Mrs. Ping is doing okay. She's had some ups and downs, but she's doing okay. I will see you all tomorrow for another show. Good night, everyone. Oh, by the way, thanks to Kathy Lynch for the donation. Every dollar right now is just going into a kitty for the trial, and we're only got like 3 weeks left. So all of it helps a lot, and I appreciate it. These trials are so long. It's not like we go for one day. I think we did 55 episodes on the Aaron Patterson trial. This one I'm expecting will be similar, something in that 40 to 50 podcast episodes. It's a huge undertaking. All right. I'll see you tomorrow for another episode with Nights with Ping. Good night, everyone. Bye.